Hey everyone, it's Mike from Destinations to Travel coming to you live today from the EPCOT International Food and Wine Festival. Hello Deb, hi Patty. You'll notice I said International Food and Wine Festival and not Taste of International Food and Wine Festival. This is the first full-blown festival we've had here at EPCOT since the parks reopened, removing the Taste of title. Oh, and also before I walk away from the water here, first of all, I should probably point out the harmonious barges out there that are obviously, taking up space in the lagoon here as we get ready for Harmonious to come in October. Hi, Stephen. Hi, Ginny. You can see the friendship boats going back and forth. I'm starting things differently today because we're starting over in the UK pavilion because I've learned my lesson doing videos here in EPCOT. We have always had connection issues from France all the way up through Japan. So we're going to start here and then make our way all the way around. If we want, we can end going into those pavilions over there. So hopefully that doesn't cause too much of a problem at the end of the stream. I see Rob's opinion on the barges. What does everybody else think? I know it's a lot of people have some thoughts on the harmonious barges out there on the water. It's honestly not that bad when you see them in person. I think it'll be worth it once we see the new nighttime show in October. So the festival, the Food and Wine Festival, is running longer than it ever has before. And so they have some special booths that will be opening later in the event. They have specific opening dates. And Ireland is not yet open. So that's located here in the UK pavilion. You can see Rose and Crown right over here. But let's take a look at the pictures on the menu here for what they have here at Ireland. I'm going to take a walk around and show you guys as much of the menus as possible. Well, I can tell you I probably will not really be eating anything in Ireland. Not because I wouldn't eat that stuff, but mostly because there's just so many other options. So I will probably only be going for my favorites. So, Stephen, this is my first time here for Food and Wine this year, at least. And the only thing I've eaten so far, I will show you guys as we get around to the booth. But at the donut box over by Test Track, I had I don't know the exact name, but it's a chicken sandwich with sriracha on a donut. And it is delicious. Incredibly messy, but delicious. And yeah, Chris, I agree with you on the fountains. Once they are fully operating and they're using them as or on the barges, once they are using them as fountains, it'll be really nice. So we're coming through Canada now, and they have the Appleseed Orchard over here. And I believe that is up in here. Let's see if we can take a peek. Oh, unless that's, we'll see. Oh, that's right. I believe it's in the theater. You know what? Actually, we are not going to do that then, because I'm afraid when we get in there, we will lose service and I will drop the stream. So we're not going to go in and check out the Appleseed Orchard, but that is located in the Canada Theater back here. So another nice option. I know they have a lot of drinks on the menu, and they have a delicious looking crumb apple tart. By the way, it is fairly busy here today, but not too bad. You can see there's some crowds out here, but it's not packed. Surprisingly, the wait times for attractions are a little bit longer than I would have expected. Food and wine usually draws a crowd, but it's usually lines for the food itself, for the food and wine. Go figure. But the attractions, I saw Spaceship Earth had a 60-minute wait when I walked in, and I believe Test Track was at 90. So let's see, we've got the Canada booth here. We got some Canadian cheddar and bacon soup, which sounds delicious, but it's very hot out right now. I do not want hot cheese soup in this weather. And that's the problem that we get with Canada and like Ireland and stuff like that. It's usually very heavy, hot foods that I just don't want this at this time of day. If we get a cooler day, then that's when I'll try that stuff. I see Danielle loves the Canada booth. I know it is a very popular option usually, but that's just, I mean, I could go for the filet. I'm not a big mushroom fan though. And yes, I agree with Samantha. It is a beautiful day here. It is very hot, like I said, but July in Florida, we expect it. So we've got Australia up here on the right. Let's see if I can pop over here. We got some grilled sweet and spicy bushberry shrimp. We got some roasted lamb chop, and then a deconstructed pavlova. Pavlova. I'm not sure. Here's the Australia booth. We got one of the new booths here. There are seven new booths, I believe. It's either 5 or 7. I think it's 7 with 2 of them opening in October. So 5 right now with 2 more to come. And then one of them here is the Noodle Exchange. Let's take a look at what they have here at the Noodle Exchange. What are the best dairy-free options? Interesting. That's a good question. I am not sure. I don't think they put dairy-free. See, they show you plant-based and gluten-free and wheat-friendly, but they don't show dairy-free. Well, we've got some pho, some udon, some curry rice noodles here at the Noodle Exchange. And again, this is one of the new booths here. Interestingly, over here we see they still have the flower quilt from Flower and Garden. Usually that is gone by the time Food and Wine starts, but they did, like I said, they started early this year, so it is going longer than ever. I would assume the flower quilt will be making its way out pretty soon. Some other EPCOT-related news. Just a few days ago, the EPCOT monorail line reopened. I haven't actually seen it go by yet today. I don't know if they're using specific hours or what, but I haven't seen it yet. I have heard, though, that you get a new spiel on the monorail that tells you a little bit about some of the new attractions, like Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, and then Space 220, the restaurant. Obviously, neither of those are open yet, but they will give you some information about them on the monorail. Danielle says Food and Wine is her favorite. Interestingly enough, it's actually probably my least favorite of the festivals here at EPCOT, because the whole thing is obviously food and wine, but all of the festivals have special food offerings, and we tend to like some of them more during the other ones. And I mean, you gotta love Flower and Garden. The park is beautiful. The art for Festival of the Arts, it's really cool to see a lot of the art that they have for sale. And then how do you not love the holidays? So it's not that I don't love food and wine. I absolutely do, but it's a very high bar. So we got Earth Eats over here. This is going to be Impossible meats. So you got Impossible 3-bean chili, Impossible burger slider.
Yes, over here.
Here is a look at the pricing. So $6 for that slider, $5.50 for the chili. Yeah, see, Danielle gets my point. It's hard to really, knock any of the festivals. They're all so good. I am not actually sure if there's a booth over here. I might have gone the wrong way here because I don't think there actually is anything food and wine related over here. So we're going to turn around and go back the other way. I know they had some flower and garden stuff, like they had the butterfly garden over there. So I assumed maybe there would be something, but it didn't look like it. So we're going to go back the other way. I'm going to head over towards Test Track and we'll show you guys the donut box. I believe there's another booth over there as well. Oh yes, the Flavors from Fire is over there. Nelson, actually, I should have looked that up. I know it goes into October, the Food and Wine Festival. It just started this past weekend, or this past Friday or Thursday or something like that. But yeah, it's going longer than it ever has before. So we have it for several months still. Yes, I saw the person dressed as Nick Wilde. Pretty impressive Disney. I guess that's a step further than just Disney bounding, but pretty cool. What is the most rad aspect of Food and Wine Festival? I love that question. I don't. I mean, it's tough because is eating and drinking rad? I don't know if that's the word I would use to describe it. But I mean, that's really what this festival is about. It's coming and getting all of these incredible food and drink options that you can't normally get. And like I said, I've had one thing so far. It was the sriracha chicken sandwich on a donut from Donut Box, which we'll see in just a few minutes here. And it was fantastic. So 100% so far. Oh, November 20th. Chris has got me. Thanks, Chris. So, wow, yeah, even well past October. And November 20th, I mean, that doesn't leave them much time to get the Festival of the Holidays started. So, yeah, very long time for Food and Wine this year. All right, Flavors from Fire. And this is the booth sponsored by Monday Night Football. So you got the Monday Night Football schedule. Oh, my gimbal is all sorts of crooked. Hang on, let me even this out. There we go. So they have the Monday Night Football schedule out here in front of the Flavors from Fire booth. And let me show you guys the pictures of the food over here. And I love this menu because it's all football puns. So we've got, well, I guess this is not really a pun, but the corned beef corner route, the chimichurri up offense, which is my favorite, and the s'mores whoopie pylon. Love it. And then we have a couple of wines as well, and a beer. Awesome. Nothing new at that booth. I did have one of the things before, and it was good. So, and yeah, Chris has a good point. Most of the options at Food and Wine Festival, really all of the festivals that I've got, are going to be sort of like small plates. It's not a full meal or anything. So if you buy something you don't like, it's small, and pricing will usually be around this. I know these are just donuts, but it's usually around $5. I got the crispy chicken crispy chicken on sriracha glazed donut. Sounds weird, but it was delicious. It was incredibly messy, so grab all the napkins you can. But it was very, very good. And also, I know it's $8.50, so it's a little bit up there as far as the festival pricing goes, but that was a full meal. Like, I don't really need to eat anything else right now. I still will, because I'm here at Food and Wine. I'm going to eat as much as I possibly can, but I don't feel like I need, like, that could have been my lunch for today. I don't need anything else. So it was definitely worth the price. Oop. Gimbal's being a little weird on me today, sorry. I have not heard anything about pricing for the new Christmas party, unfortunately, yet. So, but if you reach out to Destinations to Travel, you can send us an email at info@d2travel, or head over to d2travel.com. Whenever you have questions like that, we can answer them to the best of our ability, at least. But right now, I don't believe that information is out there. What is the most recommended food here in the festival? That's a good question. It depends. It's really all down to your preference, really. Like there's something for everybody's palate. One of my returning favorites is the Kahlua pork slider over in Hawaii, which we kind of bypassed. But heading into one of the new booths this year. This is the EPCOT experience, the brew wing. So like brewing, but brew wing because they have beers and wings. So nice little fun pun there. Sorry. Here is a look at the menu here. So we have 5 different types of wings. We have garlic parm, barbecue sauce, teriyaki, sesame, traditional buffalo, and mango habanero. And then they have all of these beers and ciders as well. So one of the nice new additions this year, and Paul is with me on the Hawaii booth. Definitely one of my favorites. And there we go. I got Chris and Paul now helping me out with all the information you guys need. Thanks, guys. What is the spiciest food on the menu? Good question. I actually haven't really had anything that was too spicy. I think they tend to keep things... this gimbal is being weird today. Hang on. They tend to keep things pretty mild. There are plenty of offerings that have like a spicy flavor to them, but it's gonna be difficult to find something that's really, really spicy. If you're somebody who likes that really spicy food, you probably won't find anything here that really pushes the limit. And Virginia points out probably the best way to handle festivals like this. She says, my daughter, granddaughter, and I shared dishes so we could try different things. Yeah, that's the way to go. Like, there's so many different things that you're going to want to try at this festival, or really all of the festivals. So, don't fill up on your first couple of booths, which is very easy to do. And then I mentioned the Hawaii booth is one of my favorites. Mexico is always one of my favorites, and it's actually all new stuff this year, but it doesn't matter. I will get something from Mexico every year, and it never disappoints. It's always good. So, like this taco de ribeye, I mean, that's all. I'm all about that.
I'm kind of, Dad likes Corona. I'm kind of
All right. Jess points out there was that super spicy taco once. It was not super spicy. I am not somebody who goes for super spicy, and I handled that one with no problem. It was spicy. Don't get me wrong. It was definitely, there was some heat to it. But if you really, really like really spicy food, it wasn't pushing those limits. And Jessica is with me on Mexico. That is my go-to booth. If I am here and I don't really see anything else on the other menus, I will go right to Mexico and get whatever they have because it's always good. See, we got some crowds here over in Mexico. It's usually the case. When things are normal, when things are operating at, the normal capacity, Mexico is usually very busy over here. So it is getting back to that way. It is also incredibly humid out right now. And I know it's supposed to rain in a few hours. I'm sure we're going to get a pretty big thunderstorm for, a half hour or so, and then it'll pass. But it's the humid is Florida summer levels of humid right now. Hi, Randy. Is it Aaliyah? Aaliyah, I believe is the name. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, let me know. I will definitely do my best to pronounce it. Maple bacon cheesecake, if it's at the cheese booth, is my go-to. I have not tried that. That sounds fantastic. That's right up my alley. Hi, Randy. How's it going? Can someone please take our rain? We had plenty of it a few weeks back, so yeah, no, we're good. We'll stick to our half-hour thunderstorms for now. Thank you. What booths are recommended? Great question. As I pointed out, I like Mexico and I like Hawaii. Those are my sort of go-tos. The donut box, if you want something sweet. I haven't really tried anything else this year so far, though, so I can't really speak too much to this year's offerings just yet. But usually there's something good at China. The American Adventure Pavilion usually has some good stuff. France usually has some good stuff as well. So there's plenty of options. My best recommendation is just to take a look at the menus in advance before you come out here and pick a few things that you definitely want to try. Oh, I know, for example, one of them that I need to get to is Belgium. I will definitely be eating at Belgium. They have a braised beef with some sort of mashed potatoes. Oh, it sounds so good. And then they have waffles as well, of course. So, yeah, I will be getting out there for sure. Let me adjust the gimbal one more time here. Let's see if I can. Sorry for the shakiness. Hang on. All right, passing by the China Pavilion booth here. Randy, is the school bread there this year? I think they still have it in the bakery. Last I checked, at least. Here is the China menu. And yeah, pan-fried chicken dumplings, the beef bao bun, can't go wrong. This all looks really good. Well, I'll be there for sure at some point during this festival. As Chris let us know, this goes until November 20th, so we got plenty of time to come back and try lots of different things. And Ella, got it. I will make sure I got that right from now on. Found that in October 2019. All right. I don't know how I haven't tried that yet. I'm going to have to get to that one eventually. Now, let's see. We got another booth up here that is not open just yet. This is the India booth. And I know they have something on their menu that I want to try. You've probably, if you haven't tried it yourself, you've probably heard Disney fans talk about the bread service at Sanaa. It is one of the most popular menu items anywhere on property. And they have a similar option here in the India booth. Warm Indian bread with pickled garlic, mango salsa, and coriander pesto dips. And only $5 too. So obviously it's not going to be the full bread service like you get at Sanaa, but much smaller version of that. And I'm sure it's delicious. Whenever the India booth does open up, I will be trying that for sure. Oh, I just noticed a detail on this here. This is interesting. I had never noticed this before. Introduced in 2017. So I guess they're letting us know exactly when these booths opened or first were introduced to the festival. I didn't even realize that one had been there that long. So that's pretty cool. Let me get you another good look across the lagoon here. And then those barges across in the middle of the water there. But again, I think if you haven't gotten to see them in person yet, they're really not as, I don't know, intrusive as they seem to be in pictures and stuff like that. I personally don't have a problem with them, especially because they're going to be delivering such an incredible new show, I'm sure. When we get to see Harmonious in October, we will all be on board with our daytime view here. Steven asks, what is the best choice for the India booth? I mean, I'm looking forward to trying that bread for sure. I will be getting that at some point. We've got a special offering here at Refreshment Outpost. And by the way, there is the Remy scavenger hunt. I don't know if you guys can spot our Remy here. Don't want to spoil too much, but yeah. So you can find some Remy's all around the park. Do their scavenger hunt. We've got spicy Gatheri, Gatheri, I'm not sure. And then $3 brewing allspice hard cider. Interesting. Allspice hard cider. And then not too far for our next booth, we've got Kenya right up here. Now I gotta check this one now too. Does it say when they introduced Kenya? And it looks like Kenya is not open just yet either. So another one that is not operating at this time. And here we go. Yeah, introduced 2021. This is a new booth here. And so we've got coffee barbecue beef tenderloin. Yep, that sounds really good. I'll be trying that at some point. It looks fantastic. Small menu at Kenya here. They don't have too many options. Tusker lager, which you can get over in Animal Kingdom. But that tenderloin is calling my name. I will be trying that at some point. What is the spiciest food I have had? As Jess pointed out, that taco. I don't remember if that was last year. No, it couldn't have been. Well, it could have been. It could have been from Taste of Food and Wine. But it might have been the year before. I think it was probably 2019. It was a taco in Mexico. I don't remember exactly what was on it. It was spicy. Not crazy, but it was spicy. We've got two booths over here now. We've got Germany and we've got the Alps. So let me actually come around this side here. See, I think they have the menu for the Alps over here, and this is obviously not open just yet. But Germany is usually one of our go-to booths as well. We usually come out here and get something. They always have something good. But now we've got the Alps here as well. This is 2019, and they have that warm raclette Swiss cheese and Alpine ham. Sounds really good. And then we've got the Germany booth over here. I am not even going to try and pronounce that, but roast bratwurst on a pretzel roll, that one I can do. And then apple strudel. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. And then, of course, they have some German wines and beers. Schofferhofer, the Hefeweizen, is always around in grapefruit flavored. Now they have a wild cherry, and I'm going to have to try that one. Samantha asks, is there a reason why it's not open at the moment? I'm not entirely sure. I know some of the booths will, because the event is so long, some of the booths will actually be opening later on in the event. But I'm also not sure if it's day of the week as well. I think on weekends when they're busier, they open up some more booths. So I couldn't really tell you for sure right now. I'm sure as I come to the event more and more this year, I will have a better feel for what will and will not be open. But I do know specifically two of the new booths, the mac and cheese one, which is over in will be over by Test Track, and the other one I can't remember off the top of my head, but they will be opening October 1st. So we have some time before we get two of those new booths. But again, with the event going until November 20th, plenty of time to try them out. Rob, I am not going to acknowledge that question. And aside from the fact that I will say I have not tried the apple strudel. We've got another booth here, Spain. And this one was introduced in 2017. I'm going to be checking that every single time now because I can't believe I've just noticed that. They have charcuterie, a paella, and a seafood salad. And of course, some wines as well. And by the way, wherever you see, like if there's multiple wines, multiple beers, they'll have a flight as well. So you can try all of the wines, all of the beers, all of the ciders, whatever that booth has in particular. Now, I come over here almost every video we do because I love the trains, but there's a new addition to the trains here as well. I don't know if I've ever seen this smokestack working. I think there's some new, well, a lot of these are new actually. But I know for a fact this lighthouse, I suppose. I don't know if it's really a lighthouse, but this tower over here is new. So some nice new additions here. Chris has got me covered again. The Alps, Belgium, Brazil, India, Ireland, Kenya, Lobster Landing, Mac and Eats, and Spain all open October 1st. Oh, I didn't realize it was that many. They don't open until October 1st. I cannot wait to get out to Belgium. And Mac and Eats, of course, too. Mac and cheese, you can't go wrong. As you can see on our YouTube channel. We have a new video as of last week where we tried 3 different mac and cheeses for 3 different budgets over at Disney Springs. So if you're planning a trip out to Disney Springs and you were trying to decide what to eat, you can plan your day out like that. So we had a $4 mac and cheese up to a $25 mac and cheese. So you can check out that video. It's called Budget Bites up on our YouTube channel. Just search for Destinations to Travel or D2 Travel, either one. Yes, Patrick. I do love my mac and cheese. So we got the Italy booth, which is usually a very popular option. You can see a little bit of a line right now. But they have basically what is fried raviolis, which look really, really good. And then they have normal raviolis, and then the bomboloni, which is just a delicious dessert, kind of stuffed donut. Those are delicious as well. I'm going to come up here and give you guys a nice view across the lagoon at Spaceship Earth, since we didn't start up at the beginning this time, so we didn't get a nice view of Spaceship Earth to start off. By the beginning, I mean the front. Those words mean the same thing to me. Carol, I am with you. I absolutely love the model trains too, and I will show them every chance I get. Disney has not taken my idea yet, by the way, of strapping a GoPro or some sort of camera to one of those trains and just running a live stream all day long, because I think we would all watch that. And yeah, the crowds are very reasonable right now. I've seen some spots, like we walked through Mexico where it was pretty busy. And again, the wait times for the rides are longer than I expected. Sorry, the wait times for the attractions are longer than I expected. But as far as the lines for the food booths and just the general crowds around World Showcase, not bad at all. Oh, the things that train would see. That's true. I guess there are a lot of variables at play there. Oh, interesting. Greg points out fried ravioli is a staple dish you can get everywhere in St. Louis. I would not have guessed that. I do love fried ravioli, so St. Louis might have to be a city that I visit at some point. All right, so we are in the Italy Pavilion. I'm going to head into American Adventure. Usually in the border between American Adventure and Japan, it's where we start to lose service. So hopefully that holds off and we can keep service going for this video to continue. Patrick points out, can't wait for Harmonious. 100% with you. Absolutely. I mean, October is going to be so exciting around Walt Disney World. We get a new show at Magic Kingdom, which that one I have mixed feelings about because I love Happily Ever After so much. But definitely looking forward to all the new additions. We're also going to get Remy's Ratatouille Adventure here at EPCOT. So October is going to be busy. We have one of the recent additions over here. This is the Gelateria Toscana. Hopefully I didn't destroy that pronunciation too badly. So you want some gelato over here. Any word on Fantasmic coming back? Good question. I was just wondering that the other day too, and no, I have not heard anything about it just yet. Hopefully we get some news on that soon. And I also loved the Star Wars fireworks over in Hollywood Studios as well. Hopefully we get that back. So here's the look at the menu from the Gelateria Toscana. Definitely some things I wanted. I was here all day on July 1st, covering the return of EPCOT Forever. And I waited too long and the Gelateria closed on me before I could get it. So keep that in mind. It does close about 2 hours before the park does. Greg says, Road Remy's in Paris. It's worth the wait. Excited. I definitely can't wait. Lots of new attractions coming to EPCOT and Walt Disney World in general. So I'm looking forward to every single one of them. Let me check Patrick's comment here. So Patrick says, you said there was a good booth by Test Track. Is it normal for the festival to expand beyond World Showcase? It is. Not too far beyond, but over in front of Test Track, there's usually a booth or two. Right now, there's the donut box, and then there is we also saw the Flavors from Fire booth as well over there. And I'm going to actually stop and answer these questions before I move too much further and we lose service. But we're also going to have the Mac and Eats booth will be over there by Mission Space. So yeah, there's a little bit of an expansion. It doesn't actually get up to like the front of the park, but it does go beyond the World Showcase. And there are usually some really good options out there too. So definitely explore the entire park during these festivals. Any dairy-free ice cream? There is Shimmering Sips up in the front of World Showcase, which we kind of skipped around as I walked over towards Test Track. But I believe they have dairy-free ice cream. They have in the past. I would have to go check their menu to see if they do have it right now. Okay, so Randy points out that the Magic Kingdom fireworks might just be for the 50th anniversary, and then Happily Ever After will return afterwards. That would be interesting because the 50th anniversary celebration goes on for 18 months. So for it to have a 1.5 year long layoff and then come back seems a little bit strange, especially if this new show is, technologically, advanced the way that every previous show has. It's always a step up to the new show. So it'll be interesting to see if that is the case. Hope they bring the dinner shows back too, Hoop-de-Doo and the Luau show. Yeah, I never got a chance to do Hoop-de-Doo. So yeah, I do hope that comes back because I definitely want to check that out myself. We have another new booth over here in the American Adventure, and this is the Rotunda Bistro. And I will show you the menu. It's actually inside the Liberty Theater in the American Adventure here. So pretty cool that they're utilizing some space a little bit differently. I do want to point out, too, over to my left, here's Regal Eagle Smokehouse. I guess not entirely new at this point. It's been around for a little while, but I just tried it for the first time when I was here on July 1st, actually, and loved it. Absolutely loved it. It was very, very good. Worth the money for sure. So highly recommend. If you're here and you're not doing, the whole food and wine thing or whatever festival is going on at the time, Regal Eagle Smokehouse. I still love the Boulangerie over in France, but this is a close second for my favorite quick service here. Let me come around and check out the menu for the Rotunda Bistro. Ooh, you can feel that air coming out of the Liberty Theater here. It was nice. Here we go at the Rotunda Bistro. We have chilled smoked shrimp salad, wild mushroom and truffle tart, and chilled crab and avocado parfait. That is interesting. And then we have a rosé as well. Patrick points out with the food being inside the rotunda there, that Voices of Liberty will likely be at the American Gardens Theater across the way here, which they've been there for a little bit now, and I would assume they'll be staying there throughout the end of this festival at least. Which I actually never got to see Voices of Liberty inside the rotunda. The rotunda. I thought I lost the word for a second there. I've only seen them at the American Gardens Theater, which they're fantastic, but that rotunda really changes the performance. Hops and barley, we have our usual favorites: New England lobster roll, hot beef sandwich with horseradish, cream, and pickled vegetables. That sounds really good. And then we have a freshly baked carrot cake We've got a few beers. They have a beer flight here. There is a roast coffee hard cider. Interesting. That is an interesting choice. And then a couple of wines as well. Hi, Jeff. Thanks for joining us. We're taking a walk around the EPCOT International Food and Wine Festival 2021. We are going to step over from American Adventure over to the Japan Pavilion. Hopefully the service will hold up because that is where the sort of dead spot usually starts for me. If not, I will make my way through those quickly and we'll do a sign off from over where we started. And by the way, we're so out here on the main drag of World Showcase. They do have the menu for hops and barley here, so you can't miss it. You'll be walking right up to it, and it'll let you know that the booth is back there. And then, of course, we have the funnel cake booth over here. Now, this is normally here, always has their funnel cake, but for the festivals, they like to add a special funnel cake. And for this year's Food and Wine, we've got mini candy bacon s'mores funnel cake. Yeah, I'm on board with that one. I didn't realize, I thought it was just s'mores. I didn't realize it was candy bacon as well, but that does not deter me in any way. Yeah, and Randy agrees with what I said about the rotundra and the acoustics in there and the way that it changes their performance. But, you know, they're still incredibly talented singers, so it's always fun to see them wherever they're performing. Please tell me they still have the frushi in Japan. I need my frushi, says Craig. I will go check. The Japan booth is right in front of me here. Hopefully the service holds up and I can let you know. I don't remember seeing it as I scan through the menus quickly, although it is such a fan favorite that it would be weird if it was not here still.
Cider is at Canada.
Let's turn around the corner here. We've got teriyaki chicken bun, tempura shrimp sando, spicy hako sushi. I do not see frushi. Oh no, I'm sorry, Greg. So we've got a few alcoholic beverages. We have, oh, interesting. We've got Ivanhoe Park Brewing Company, Uresu. I don't know how to pronounce that, rice lager. Ivanhoe Park is a local brewery from Orlando. So very interesting that they are featured here at the Japan booth, but it is a rice lager. That sounds very interesting. I might have to try that. But that is one of the things that they do very well here for Food and Wine. They showcase a lot of local breweries and other businesses of that sort. So it's really cool to see them getting, you know, some recognition. And usually all their products are fantastic. So if you see anything like that and you want to try a new beer or cider or a wine or whatever, you know, they're absolutely worth trying some of these local breweries. All right, we're doing okay so far, getting up to Morocco. We've got the Greece booth here, which this is probably my favorite booth I've seen so far. By the way, you guys spot any fun detail here? I'll leave it at that. I won't spoil anything too much more, but I love this booth. Look at the color of it and the flowers. That's really cool. And here's the menu for the Greece booth. And Greece has been around for a while. This is a Food and Wine veteran, 1996. I think it's the oldest one I've seen so far, aside from, you know, Italy and the ones that actually have pavilions. Those have been here since the festival started. We've got something I can't pronounce, and then griddled cheese and lamb moussaka. That griddled cheese looks good. Ooh. And then here is the lamb. We have a few wines on the menu as well, and again, they do a wine flight here. So there you go. And a beautiful view from back here between the Japan and Morocco pavilions. We're going to head into Morocco, where the Tangerine Cafe just reopened yesterday or a couple of days ago. Recently, very recently. So another quick service option that just reopened. Steven, I do like lamb. Yeah, I haven't really tried. I don't often do like Mediterranean food. Not that I don't like it. It's just I prefer other things. But yeah, I might have to try some of that over at the Greece booth, or I know there's Morocco has its own booth as well. So we'll see. And here is Tangerine Cafe over here, which again just reopened recently. And by the way, last time I was here, this was all blocked off over here. They were remodeling some stuff here, but here's the menu. And this is actually a festival-specific edition here this year, the flavors from Medina. So another pretty cool addition to the festival. All right, so Patrick asks a very good question. He said, seeing the dining plan symbol on a lot of these menus, would I recommend using the dining plan to enjoy the festival or not? Just, better to buy them on their own. I think it depends on who you're here with and what they're willing to eat. Also, if I remember correctly, the dining plan, I mean, you get, one meal, one snack, one drink per day. I mean, it depends on what you do with the dining plan as well. But typically when I'm here, if I'm like here to really fully enjoy the festival, I will have three to five different options at different booths. So I don't know that the dining plan is the way to go. It really depends on what you want to do, what you want out of your experience. But my personal recommendation would probably be no. I would just buy the items individually instead of going with the dining plan. But that being said, that's really just for the festivals, because I used the dining plan on one vacation one year and loved it. Definitely, changes the way you treat your vacation and allows you to really try a lot of good food from around the resort. So hopefully that helps. I know I kind of spoke out of both sides of my mouth there, I guess, but yeah, if you have a long vacation plan and you want to enjoy your food all around the resort, yes, then I definitely recommend a dining plan. But specifically for the festival, no, probably not. So we've got the France pavilion, the France booth over here, and I'm surprised with how well the service is holding up. This is the first time I've made my way through here and not lost service. So hopefully I'm not jinxing it, but here is the menu for the France booth, and a warm beignet filled with 3 cheeses. If I could hand pick a menu item, I mean, that would be it. So I will be trying that at some point during this festival as well. Okay, there we go. Chris has a very good insight there. So if you get 2 snack credits per person per day, and a lot of the drinks and the food offerings can be used, you can use a snack credit on. So if, as he says, if you are the family that ends up with a ton of snacks at the end of the week, using the food and wine can be a great option. That's a great way to look at it. So, and that does happen. You do, you're enjoying the parks, you kind of forget, you don't even really think to use your snack credits, and they pile up by the end of your vacation. So maybe you plan it out that way. You get over here to food and wine at the back end of your vacation, and use all those snack credits. That's a great way to look at it. So Chris might have just changed my mind on that, actually. That might be the way to go. Now, because the service held up great through there, that might change the way I do videos from here in the future. But I'm just going to keep on walking around, and I'll check out those booths up at the front by the port of entry that we didn't get to check out before. So we're coming back through the UK pavilion now. And again, the only booth that was over here before was Ireland. And I don't know why I said before, as if it's going to be different this time around. The only booth over here is Ireland, and it is not open until October 1st. So, oh, look at that. We have Mary Poppins with her signature umbrella, or parasol, I believe, out there for a nice photo op. Very cool. Okay, so Mickey then has a follow-up question regarding the dining plan. And no, right now it is not back. But as Patrick points out, when Disney announces the return of the plan, then we will be able to use that for things like food and wine. Another interesting thing to point out for this Food and Wine Festival, they are currently not using the World Showplace building, which they have been using for festivals for the past year plus, I believe. It's been a while. They've been using them for just about every festival. You can see, usually we go right down that way into that blue building back there, but the gate is closed. So they are not using it right now. By the way, I know I've pointed out a lot of great-looking food. And you might be thinking, well, I can't eat that much. First of all, it's your vacation. Calories don't count. Second of all, I have sweat far more than any amount of food I could eat. So yeah, you're working it off. Don't worry. Stephen asks, is Mary Poppins usually at that spot? Usually when I go over there, it's Alice. I'll see Alice in Wonderland over there a lot. But I have spotted Mary Poppins in the UK Pavilion before. So I'm wondering if they just found that specific location as her new home for now. Yeah, and Ella points out too in the back in the garden as well. Yeah, so there's I usually, when I do these videos, I always just do a quick lap. It's always for the festival. We're looking at the menus and everything. And I always just do a quick lap around World Showcase, but there's so much more to explore in each pavilion. So if you have the time, if you're here at EPCOT and you want to, go off the beaten path a little bit and explore a little bit more, really spend some time in the pavilions because there's a lot to see back there. All right, so here's what we did last time. Here's the Australia booth on my right. To my left was the Noodle Exchange. We're going to go straight this time rather than going left towards the Noodle Exchange. And there are a few more booths up in front of me here before we get to the Mexico Pavilion, including one of my favorites. First, though, we've got Shimmering Sips. This is where I pointed out that they've previously had some dairy-free ice cream. It doesn't look like that is the case this time, though. But that shimmering strawberry soft serve is fantastic. Definitely recommend. They also have a mimosa flight here, and one of them is POG, passion fruit, orange, and guava, which is the flavor palette, I guess, that you can get in just about all of the Disney Resort hotels. So specifically at Polynesian, they call it POG. Yeah, the mimosa flight is probably something we'll end up trying during this festival. Yes, I'm going to put this one up on the screen. I love what Patrick said here. It is so great to get quote unquote lost in the parks. Just wander. Just, I know it's difficult when you are here on a short vacation and you want to do everything and, you have all the rides you got to hit twice. But if you have that extra day, to just, kind of wander and explore. It's so much fun. Just you see so many details that you never would have otherwise. Ella points out that jerk chicken always smells so good. Yeah, there's so many smells around the park that draw you in instantly. Here's some of the merchandise for Food and Wine, including the Spirit jersey. Really cool. And then the whole event this year is presented by Corksicle, and we have a lot of these tumblers all around. Oh, this is really cool. Like a stemless wine tumbler. That is $29.99. This one is very big, by the way. Look at the size of this compared to my hand here. And this one is $39.99. We have tank top as well. We got these really cool trash can salt and pepper shakers. Some pretty cool merchandise. Jessica makes a good point about Italian ice for non-dairy. I believe they do have, I would have to look at again at the menu for the gelateria, but they do have the snow cones over in Japan as well that are a very popular option. So you can find that there, or shaved ice, whatever you want to call them. And then I believe the final booth, no, it looks like we got one more up there. I think that's Trowel and Trellis. Oh no, that's for Flower and Garden. I'm mixing my festivals up now. But we've got Hawaii here. Well, and actually, here you go. Here's a non-dairy option. I believe they have them here. Let's see. Nope, never mind. I thought they had Dole Whips here, but they do not. Hawaii was introduced in 2011. The Kahlua pork slider, one of my go-to options. So good. The passion fruit cheesecake is delicious as well. And then you have a few different drinks. We got a beer, a wine, and a cocktail. I'm sure there are some non-dairy options around that I just haven't really noticed. But yeah, I believe like that Shimmering Sips menu looks limited compared to what it used to be. And that could change, with all these other festival booths opening up into October, or really on October 1st. I wouldn't be surprised if they make some additions to some of the menus as well. And right. The final booth that we didn't get to look at is one of the new ones, this Swanky Saucy Swine. That's a mouthful. Let me peek at the menu over here. We've got crispy barbecue pork rinds, roasted porchetta, soy glazed sticky ribs, crispy pig ear salad. Interesting. And then we have a few wines here, which is kind of surprising. I would think with something called the Saucy Swine, the Swanky Saucy Swine, I would have expected beer here, but we have a wine. Oh, no, actually, they do have a beer. Okay, it's a Pinot Noir Blackcurrant Sour. Interesting. And then they do have a Bloody Mary as well. So there you go. There's our food and wine offerings, at least for now. We're going to have some more come October. So if you come late in the event, you'll have more options than we have even right now, which there are a lot of options right now. There are too many things that I want to eat, so I will be coming back several times throughout this event for sure. Yeah, Patrick, I've heard the same thing, that pig ear salad is surprising. Well, I've heard both. I've heard both things. I've heard it was gross, and I've heard it was surprisingly really good. So I guess it all just depends. It's all subjective. It all depends on what you like to eat. But the description I've heard is that it's like a very fresh, light dish, which is great for a hot day like this. All right, we're going to take a walk up to the front, and I'll wrap up with a nice view of Spaceship Earth. So, thank you everybody for joining me. Actually, we'll stop up here with this nice food and wine sculpture art that they have up here, the Spaceship Earth in the background. Still haven't seen the monorail go by the way. I'm not sure if that is not operating right now or what, but it did reopen just a few days ago. So. Oh, nope, never mind. I heard test track. I thought it was the monorail coming. Ella, thank you so much for watching. And thank you everyone for joining me on this walk around the EPCOT International Food and Wine Festival 2021. I'll probably be doing another walk around before this festival is over because, again, November 20th. That's a long time. We got a lot of time before this festival ends. So probably get back to EPCOT in that window. But as for our next video, we're coming off of our social media blitz that we had here in Walt Disney World just this past week. And that was so much fun, by the way. Thank you, everybody who was a part of it. And thank you to everybody who watched and followed along. But because of that, I didn't really get to do my normal videos on a normal schedule. So we're going to catch up a little bit. We're going to have another video coming this week. I will be at Universal Studios Florida on Thursday. So we'll have a video coming very soon. So you can check that out. I'll put up an announcement tomorrow, as always, a day in advance. But we'll be there sometime in the afternoon to check out some of the additions. It's been a little while since we got over there, so keep an eye out for that. But again, thank you guys so much for joining me. I love that the way this lines up, like Spaceship Earth is just like the top scoop on this Sunday. Look how perfect that is. These Disney people are smart. But again, thank you guys so much for joining me on this walk around. Thank you for all those great questions, and thanks to Chris and Patrick and Paul and everybody else who helped out with all that great information, because that was very helpful. I appreciate it. But we'll be back really soon. As always, head over to d2travel.com if you have any questions. Send us an email at info@d2travel.com. And otherwise, I'll see you real soon. Bye, everyone.